Hello, Guardians. I'm back once again with part 2 of my solo queue Road to Recluse. In this episode, or this section, this series, part of the series, I'm going to continue my journey on to trying to obtain the pinnacle weapon, the Recluse, as obviously you can see in the title. It's a tough journey, and I think in this part 2 you're going to see a lot of mistakes that I made. A lot of errors that will be corrected, that I had corrected, that I will correct later on in the series here, in this particular episode, of a lot of what to do's and a lot more of what not to do's. I get myself into some situations where, looking back on it now while I'm watching this and recording, if I had just taken my time or planned out my routes a little bit better, maybe stuck to my teammates a little bit more, things would have gone a little bit easier. So hopefully you'll sit back and enjoy some of this content that I'm giving you, and you'll learn from my mistakes, as there are plenty to learn from, and see exactly what you can do to improve your gameplay, as well as, you know, I'm sure you'll comment on what I need to do to improve my gameplay in order to go ahead and achieve obtaining the Recluse. Right here, I'm trying to back up my teammate, and I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of comments on the choices of weapons that I use throughout this series. But I'm just trying to experiment, see what goes against the meta, what I can use from me that I have already in my arsenal that will work against the level of enemies, other enemies that I come up against, and situationally especially, how I can pull some of this off. Obviously right there I didn't pull anything off but dying a painful death. But I'm right back at it again. And also in this, it's just, more or less a guide for you guys, to just never give up, never give up hope. Just keep going and trying to obtain, what you're trying to obtain. No matter what anybody says or how someone else may or may not go about it. I mean, there are a million different ways to skin a cat, so to speak. Not literally, of course, but just figuratively. The end goal is getting the damn weapon. That's the end goal. That's the bottom line. Trying to get this damn weapon.
Opponents are pulling away. Drag them back.
Now, one thing I can't stress enough, especially after going through all of this to this point, is communication amongst teammates. You're going to see later on where exactly that comes into play, why I stress more than ever now to communicate, if at all possible, with your teammates, whether you go solo, whether you're running with blueberries. Just try to get in that chat with them and just communicate so everybody's on the same page, and this would go a lot smoother. So basically just use me as, what not to do in a lot of these situations up to this point. But you're gonna see, like right here, I'm by myself, just wandering around trying to get some caps here, trying to help out, maybe even distract a little bit, so my teammates can get the caps. And if I can't get some of these 1v2 kills or 1v1s at this point, I'm just trying to do the best I can to distract while my better teammates kind of pick up my slack right now.
Zone C captured. Zone advantage is yours.
Now here, what I'm trying to do is back up my teammates, flank a little bit if all, maybe get some shots over the top if there's an enemy over there, while also trying to maintain some sort of control over the C capture point. It's not the easiest thing to do because every instance you wants to run out there and try to get kills with your teammates, but sometimes you're just better off helping by trying to just hold a zone as best you can by yourself.
5 minutes. Zone C lost. Your enemy can't kill if they're dead. 3 minutes left.
See, now we wound up losing that match, but what I wanted to do is just go ahead and give you guys just some evidence of how far down you'll drop if you start losing matches. And you're gonna find that I do drop a bit. I dip down a bit in the competitive score here, but just keep plugging along. Like, again, don't get discouraged by it. You're gonna have ups, you're gonna have good games, bad games, games where you absolutely dominate people, and games where you get absolutely dominated. You just do the best that you can in those situations.
Enemy approaching. Defend the charges or defeat your opponents. Enemy charge set. Defuse it now. One opponent remains.
Now here, I think I've had the worst game of this whole series. I could get my own head out of my own ass, apparently, obviously, and I'll just let the gameplay at this point speak for itself, because it speaks wonders.
You're on offense. Set the charges or defeat all hostiles. You've set the charge. Rally your team. One enemy left. Double down. 3 opponents down. Charge detonated. This was a decisive victory.
Now, do not let that fool you. Not whatsoever. Trust me, this is the worst game that I've had.
Fight to the bitter end. One enemy left. All opponents defeated. I love it. Set the charges and protect them. Charge is set. Prepare yourself. Now you're fighting with heart, Guardian. Defend those charges. The hour is yours. Pale horse, Guardian. Ride to victory. One opponent stands. All opponents down. A powerful finish. Here they come. Defend the charges or wipe them out.
Now, in this match, this is where I got particularly salty, you know, internally, because it's just one of those things where you invariably run up against it more often than not, especially in this playlist, which, I mean, it shouldn't be at all, but it's like we wound up playing a 3v4 match, and when you're playing a 3v4, it is so hard, next to impossible, especially if you're going up against highly skilled players, that you're going to win the match. So you just gotta suck it up and take the L on this one. You don't have to enjoy it at all, but it's just one of those things. Comes with the territory. Thank you, Bungie.
You're
Thank
on
you.
offense. Set the charges or defeat all hostiles. All teammates down. Fight another. Defend the charges and defeat your opponents. You're the last Guardian standing. Fight. Enemy charge is set. Defuse it before it blows. All teammates down. Fight another. control. Show your enemy this place belongs to you now. Take the zones.
Now here, I've decided to go with a little bit of a different loadout. The last loadout I was using, it wasn't really getting me the results I wanted to in this playlist, and I've just frankly had enough of just, you know, run into situations where, like that, where I'm just getting hosed from side to side. So I decided to just bust out this pulse rifle and started to use my trust a little bit more, and you'll see the results that I get with this. You know, just changing your loadout, I think, will help a great deal when you find something that works for you. You know, something that's worked in the past. Just give it a shot. You know, go with your gut. Go with what feels good for you. Yeah, you'll watch many videos aside from this one that'll give you kind of the same advice, and it's true. Just find what works for you. Something that you're comfortable with, a loadout that you're comfortable with, a class that you're comfortable with, whether it be top tree, bottom tree, middle tree, or whatever. Something that'll complement your play style and also your team's play style. Especially if you're in a full team or if you're going solo, just do what's best for you and what you're most comfortable with, and in that way you'll wind up being more of an asset to your team instead of being a hindrance to your team.
You captured Zone B. You have advantage. What can stop you if you fight together? Nothing. Gains the lead. Tell them to line up faster.
Now, even though I get wrecked here and I didn't finish the job and kill both of these guys, even one of them, I still recommend as a loadout weapon that if you have one in your vault somewhere, or if you come across one, if you can farm for one, you know, get a trust with explosive payload on it. It just makes a heck of a difference.
Zone A lost. Zone C captured. Zone advantage is yours. Zone B lost.
Another thing to point out is also know your surroundings, know your maps. This here I ran into a wall thinking I was on the other side. You know, I got I got stressed, you know, because of the attacks I was receiving, and I just totally missed on maneuvering around the map. And so I have a really good understanding, you know, the flow of the map that you're on at the time, so that, you know, in case of high stress situations like that you maneuver a lot better than I did. and you won't get yourself in that situation where you're running into a wall and just getting completely hammered.
5 minutes. Plenty of time to fight. They've taken the lead. You can turn this tide. Zone C lost. Your enemy has a power play. Zone C captured. Zone C lost. It's a power play. Get those zones back. You captured Zone A. Three minutes remaining. Your opponents have built a lead. Destroy it! You captured Zone C. You have zone advantage. That shut them down. Zone A lost. Defeat comes for us all. You've got to hold those zones. Maybe next time, Guardian.
All right, so you can see where my score is currently. I just wanted to leave you with this last little tidbit of gameplay. And if you could just like, share, and subscribe, the usual stuff if you actually like what I'm trying to do here. And, appreciate, that I'm trying to bring you some good content, some different content from a different kind of perspective, from an older gamer's perspective, so to speak.
The team has lives left. Show no
It's been
mercy.
fun. It's been real. the journey continues, and I'll leave you with that. You watch the rest of this gameplay, and stay tuned for part 3 of my solo queue road to Recluse.
Tiebreaker active. The end is coming. Fight! No one left to fight in your place. So fight. All enemies down. All lives expended. Total victory! You looked death in his beady eyes and you spat in them. You fiend.